Hi, my name's Mark. In this video I'll show you how I made this star for the top of my Christmas tree. So I fiddled around and made myself up an OSB template to start with. So I didn't do it, it did take me more than one go to get it to work. And I did Google the angle, but so the only angle you really need to worry about is like the angle, this angle that allows, you know, all five of them to meet in the middle, which is 36 degrees on there. So if you do that, then all five will meet in the middle. I mean, obviously the length of the point doesn't really matter. You can just do whatever you want with that. Plan now is to go through all the old scrap wood I got over there, find enough bits, different colours, to glue it all up that I can make, well, a panel this big really, so I can then cut it up to make the star and have a repeating pattern as it goes through the stars. It looks, you know, the same. And then I'll cut it down the middle so I have a different colour down the middle of each spine, but I'll show you that bit as I go. I'll go through, cut up a load of stuff, glue it up and take it from there. So I've just gone through all my scrap bin over there, got any bit of wood out. There's any colour that's big enough basically. So I'm going to make two out of that lot and three out of that lot. I'm going to arrange them so I'm going to sort all those bits of wood out so that the colour is identical in each one, hopefully. So it should be like a pattern all around the star. That's the plan anyway. I've got it all in the clamps glued up. So these are out the clamps now. I think I'll just stick it through the planer, flatten them off. It's all a bit lumpy bumpy. The other side is reasonably flat. See what they come out like. So I've just squared these up. So I now want to run a strip of this oak, little thin strip of oak, down the centre of each point of the star. So I'll mark up roughly where they're going to go, and then cut it crossways, and then I can glue it back together with a strip of that oak in there. So hopefully when I cut these thingamajig, whatever shapes they are out, we'll have a strip of oak that runs down the centre. So when the star is shaped, that should be the centre point. Hopefully. I mean hopefully. So I've cut them all up so they come apart. So I've numbered them all up. So try and glue it back together with a piece of that in the middle, like that. But still get it so that all the lines still line up. So I'm going to have to be really careful. I get it in the clamps so that it's still everything's still in line. So I'll do that now, and then ready to start cutting out the star shapes after that. Okay, so the glue's dry now, so I've got those lines down the middle. It's not quite perfect, but it's not too bad. So now, when I cut the star things out, I then make sure that line is down the middle of the star. So hopefully they should all meet in the middle. And then when I sort of bevel off the star to shape it, that should be the high point down the middle. So I'm going to just draw around the template. I think I'll just rough cut them out on the bandsaw, and then I might just flush trim them with a router just to make sure they're all exactly identical. So if I do them on the table, so I have to set up and make a jig or something, it takes longer to make the jig than it will to cut them out probably. So I think that's what I'll do. So I'll sort of rough cut these on the bandsaw. I've gone within like a few mil of the line, well a bit more than that really. So you can kind of see how it's going to go together, hopefully. See where the wood's going all the way around. What I'm going to do now, I think, is I've got one of these has got a template written on it. I'm going to double-sided sticky tape it to each one individually, and then just flush trim them with a router. That way, if I use the same one of these every single time, they should all be identical, and hopefully they should all go together perfectly. And one way to find out. Decided to do these on a router table because it's such a small area. You're trying to keep the router, to keep the router sort of flat on the top, which is almost impossible. Well, not impossible. I thought it'd be much easier on the router table, but obviously it's quite a small piece to be pushing through. So just literally doing it, just taking a just a skim at a time, just feeding it really, really slowly because it's cutting all the end grain as well. So it's not really ideal. It does go together well. A little tiny bit of fine tuning just to, and they should go together fairly well. I don't think the router was such a good idea. It's too hard to do those little tips, and you've got such a little bit on the router table. It's not a really good idea. I think I did it again, cut them on the table saw, make a little jig up and cut on the table saw, would be much safer and easier way to do it. But it's done now anyway. So I'll clean all these up, get these to go together, because like these tips, the router table you couldn't really go to the fine tip. It was risky of breaking off. So I'll just finish these off by hand, get this all to go together, and then move on. So what I want to do now is make sort of a bevel on there. So go from that centre line out, I don't know, 8 or 9 mil on that edge. So it bevels in from the centre to make it sort of look more star-like. Not that I've ever seen a star close up, but that's what I think a star should look like. So yeah, I think I'll make up some sort of jig for the bandsaw maybe, so I can just cut off the guts of it, and then we'll just finish it off with a sander. So I want to be careful, I don't want to mess it up now because it's taken ages to get to this point. So I'm never going to be able to make another one. Well, not easily anyway. So I think I'll make a softwood one up just quickly, and then make a little jig on the bandsaw, and then cut them up. Just knocked up this simple jig. The piece that sits in there, this is at an angle, so as it's slid through the blade, it just cuts off like it just cuts a bevel to it. Sort of like that. So I'll work it back to the line. I'll set that with a sander thing and just get rid of the worst with a saw. I'll have to reverse the jig to do this side. So I cut the bulk off on the bandsaw. I'm just running them in with a sander now. I'll just draw a line down the edge just to create like a bevel into the middle, just so it's sort of a bit more character than just a flat surface. Pretty much ready just to glue it up now. I don't think I'm not going to get a clamp on it, so I think I use just super glue, a little dot of super glue maybe on each end, and just put normal glue in the middle. We should hopefully the super glue will hold it for long enough for the glue to dry. I'll give that a try anyway and see what happens. Glue's dry. It's not too bad. It's not really completely perfect in the middle, but I mean, I think it's on top of a Christmas tree. No one's going to notice, but it's just not. Those points haven't really gone to a complete point, which would be nice. But anyway, I'll give it a final sand up now and get some finish on it and see what it looks like. There it is, all finished then. It's not turned out too bad. It's just that little tiny bit in the middle where it's not quite as good as I would have liked, but I'll be right on top of a tree, I think. Thanks a lot for watching, and please subscribe. Thanks a lot.